Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us today for our webinar. As we continue our Know the Department webinar series, today we have our sales and agent relations team on with us. We have Stacy Boston. She is our Director of Inside Agent Relations. And we also have Ryan Bates, our National Director of Sales, on with us. Ryan, I am looking for your phone number. There it is. I see you. Let me allow your microphone. Ryan, I just allowed your microphone, so you should be able to unmute yourself then. And I will turn it over to Stacy and Ryan.
Sounds good. We'll let Ryan lead about the team. And just in case he can interrupt me at any time, in case he can't come through. Ryan put together about the team. It's led by Ryan Bates, the sales and agent relations team. We have Team North, Team South, Inside Agent Relations, and they all report up to Ryan. Jay Robinson is the Team North lead. Jen Edwards is the Team South lead, and Stacy Boston is the Inside Agent Relations lead. And we'll go to the next slide. We wanted to share with you some pictures so that you're familiar with everyone on the team. You know, everyone on here is tasked. Sorry, Leilani, I'll try to be a little bit louder for you. Best here. Is it better? So we have Jay Robinson, again, like I said, he's the team lead for North, and then you have Jennifer Edwards, and she oversees the South players here. At the end of the day, you know, our team works together cohesively with our agents, customer connections, always cultivating existing relationships with customers, and honestly, we're always working our best to create relationships with our network team of agents. And I'm not sure if Ryan is unmuted or if he wants to jump in at this time yet.
Ryan is having some external phone issues, so he's gonna try to rejoin. So
Got
give
it.
us one
Okay.
sec. He's traveling. He's having some tech issues. There he is.
All right. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
No, I'm just kidding. Yes.
Oh, okay. All right. I apologize, everybody. I don't want to repeat. Where are we at?
Right now, we're on the third slide about the team, and it starts with the core purpose of the team and understanding the agent's operations, goals, and needs.
Got it. Okay. Well, I did my best with this. I'm in the car, so I'm not going to try to look at my phone. I mean, it's not a safety webinar, but I'm going to try safety first. I made these slides with Stacy, so I'll do my best. If there are any questions at any time, Dan and Stacy, I'm leaning on you to help me out and make sure that we handle those in real time. So core purpose of the team, I would tell you the core purpose is, and my language might be mixed up just a little bit, but it's to understand you as the agent, what's your operation, what's your goal. We have agents that have 10 trucks and 2 employees, and that's what they're going to want to do. And we have others that have 20 trucks, 4 employees, because they say I'm ready to scale and I want to grow. We have others that are brokerage agents that say I'm ready to scale and want to grow. We have others that are brokerage agents and say, hey, I'm content where I am. What I would tell you is our team is geared to understand who you are and what you want to do. If I try to sell you lemons and you're not a lemonade drinker, I got nothing to do. So please tell our team about who you are. What are your goals? What are you trying to do? What are you trying to accomplish? Are you content? Are you trying to grow? Are you near a succession plan? What's your 5-year plan? Is it a revenue plan? Is it a truck plan? Is it an amount of loads per day? That's all important to us to understand how you think about the world. And the one of the things that we do too, and is the most essential thing, is I've heard many agents say, wow, you guys are growing, and wow, I don't feel the love, and wow, I just don't know where to go. My whole team is designed to be your conduit into the network. If you don't know who to ask about a certain question, ask your agent relations rep. And if you say right now, well, Ryan, I don't know who that is, that's a great starting question. And you can email me directly, and I'd be happy to answer that question. So please lean on us. And I know that sometimes these webinars are joined by corporate people as well. Corporate people, if you're dealing with an agent and you don't know who to talk to or kind of what they're thinking and how they're thinking, contact the agent relations rep. What we're trying to do is the best customer service that we can do for the individual operation out in the field. That aside, general duties and responsibilities, our people are asked and mandated to check in. How are you doing? What's going on? What can I help you with? How are you looking about the world? Do you have any tech issues right now? Do you have any issues with corporate, etc.? And proactively reach out to us if we're not doing that for you. We have annual budgets for agents out in the field. We try to put you to about a 4 to 6% annualized budget increase on top line revenue. And we tweak that depending on feedback for the agents that are engaged with us in a big way. But we're going to try to manage towards that budget. So we might check in on that. Business development. We're going to ask about your current book of business. Do you want any other business? How are you doing? Did you lose an account that maybe you want to get back? Let's talk about that. Industry events. We do send our people out into the field to large industry events, and we shake hands and say hello to people and try to develop contacts and connections. And a lot of that is for the benefit of the local agent. We know you don't have the time necessarily to go out to Long Beach, California to the TPM, the Trans-Pacific Maritime Conference, but we'll be there. Do you want us to say hello to someone? We're going to do our best to try. Accounts receivable, per diem, chassis issues. Do you have anything right now that's on the slate? You can't pull rabbits out of hats and never could, but there are times where maybe you as the local agent with only 10 to 15 or 20 trucks are trying to fight a customer that's looking at you and saying you're too small. We probably have a national presence. Let's try to help with that. And general industry knowledge. What's going on? What's the port strike information that now is behind us? But what's next on the horizon? What's the data showing? How do the customers talk about the industry? How's pricing being affected? Please contact us and your rep about that. And next slide. I don't know who's driving. Dan? Thanks.
It's the next slide on the national sales team.
All right, perfect. Thank you. So what we did recently is to be agent facing, in my opinion, this is my philosophy. And if you want to talk about it, please do contact me directly. I'm available 24/7. There's not enough time in the day to really focus on the truck side, the truck operation, and ask you what you're trying to do and strategize a game plan. And also go on the customer operation to do the same thing. We had departments that were almost 50-50. And what we tried to do is put a line in the sand and say, hey, on the customer side, I want 90-20. 90% talking to customers, 10% talking to agents. So we still stay close. So the pulse of the people dispatching trucks are moving loads. And on the other hand, and the other side of the coin, we have people that are agent facing. 90% talking to agents dispatching trucks are moving loads. And so we have the agent relations breakdown, Team North, Team South, which you just heard about, which reports up to me. And also Andy's team reports up to me. So Andy came from us for a long tenure, at JB Hunt and DCLI. And if you haven't talked to Andy, shame on you. He's a wealth of knowledge, and please do interact with him. He's a great guy. He heads our commercial initiative. And those individuals that you see on the screen are customer facing. They are knocking on doors all day long to try to drum up new business. I know everyone on this call right now may not do business with ARC, may not do business with our large broker agent, DDE, GDW down in Charleston, and may not do business with other broker agents that we place out in the field. But I can tell you right now that those agents are feeding our trucks on a day-to-day basis with good freight at decent rates. And that's what our sales team is trying to do on a day-to-day basis. Go direct to agent, so direct to truck if price makes sense, And at times there are customers that want operational control towers, and that's where we go directly to an ARC, do a GDE, GDW, and we try to source those loads accordingly. Um, if we've passed the slide about our team being well versed in data, to make sure that we're not stepping on toes with pre-existing relationships, I want to reiterate that our team has the internal data to make sure that we don't do that to the best of our ability. So that would be kind of my quick pitch on the sales team. I see the next slide. I am looking down. Don't tell my brother on me, VP of Risk and Compliance, but I'm doing my best. Quick stats. Fourth quarter of 2024, we had over 1,300 activities logged in Salesforce. We use Salesforce to manage our customer and agent interactions. That is just the agent piece. And I'm telling you right now that that only captures a fraction of what we do. So from a scorecard standpoint, I know that we've interacted with our agent population at least 1,300 times in the trailing 3 months. We continue to manage that, and we continue to watch that. On the current sales pipeline right now is over $100 million in the outstanding sales pipeline. And that number sounds gaudy, and it's for good reason. The reason it sounds gaudy is anyone on the phone that's dealt with a customer that deals with a bid, if you're bidding on $5 million of annualized freight, there's no way in holy heck that you're going to have $5 million of annualized freight. You might get 500 grand if you're really good at what you do. Our close rate is around 10, 15%, maybe up to 20% on the annualized close. So there is, while that number is gaudy, and it is gaudy because we want to understand customer characteristics, which, and I'm just picking this name out of thin air, but if C.H. Robinson tells us we have a $100 million bid, I want to know if I'm closing $10 million, 10%, 20 million, 20%, 50 million, 50%, or excuse me, 5%, or if I'm getting zero, because it's all about time allocation to opportunities out in the field. So we are chasing that business right now. We are interacting with agents that have their relationships with that business to try to close that business. I appreciate this slide coming next. I forgot the order. I apologize. At the bottom is the most important thing. If you have a relationship with a customer in a certain market, since I use the term C.H. Robinson, which is one of our largest network-wide customers, if you have that relationship in, let's just pick a market where we're a little bit less saturated, Denver, I'm going to run Denver data. And if you have the C.H. Robinson relationship, when I have C.H. Robinson opportunity, I'm going to talk to you. It's a first right of refusal, if you will. We do that to the best of our ability. There are times where certain intermediaries are fighting over the same freight, and it doesn't always cut the way we want. So C.H. Robinson might be fighting Expeditors, it's fighting Kudenok, it's fighting Rolling, that's fighting Dashler. And at that point, the chips fall where they fall. But when we have the bid with a pre-existing relationship, where the agent knows the SOP and the procedures of the customer that we're bidding, we will always go there first. Next slide. So how's your data game? I invite everyone on this call, whether you're agent or corporate, are you leveraging the data resources that we've rolled out to the field to the best of your ability? And I'm going to hand it over to Stacy after this for Stacy to really get into the weeds on what she does best. And that is agent reviews on some of the other standard reports. But Stacy also works these reports, and this is what I would look at for any agent at any time. If I'm going to hop on a call and talk about how's your operation, what are you doing, what are your goals, where are you trying to go? The two big reports for me are the sales AR dashboard, which is in Power BI, and Power BI is Microsoft's business analytics platform, and also the AR dashboard, accounts receivable dashboard. There are good customers, and good customers are in two ways. One, they pay their bills quick, and two, they're loyal, and it's loyal beyond price. I invite everybody on this call agent or corporate related, corporate maybe if you're in the AR department, to actually study your customers versus others, and you probably do on a day-to-day basis. But agents out in the field too, if you have 5 customers and they're all 20% of your business, who pays your bills faster? Who gives you more lanes? Who's been loyal to you on a month-over-month basis, on a year-over-year basis? You can glean and gather that information in Power BI. The screenshots that you have here are when you log in to your agent portal. Under reporting, you can click on AR dashboard or sales dashboard. And the terminology may be a little bit different. I am driving, so I don't know the direct terms, but there's red circles on those links. I drew them today. I am not going to get into the weeds on specific data. I'm inviting you on the phone to get into those weeds and look at it. And if you're confused by the visual, if you don't know what you're looking at, I invite you, I challenge you, and I encourage you to reach out to me, to reach out to your agent relations rep and ask for a tutorial of how you can leverage these data sets to manage your business. If you can't measure it, you can't manage it, start to manage your business. Start to look at your data. Who are your best friends? Isolate that and make your strategy off of that. So that's my data pitch. The last thing I didn't say, the equipment console on there too. If I had to give a Zach Moffa and a Wendy Gee speech, please look into there. It's also a Power BI interface. And you can look at anything that's outstanding on the equipment console that needs your attention, on chassis that need to be built, or what we need to do with certain chassis billings that we receive from the IEP, the intermodal equipment provider directly. I've talked long enough. You've heard enough from me. Stacy, I think this is your show now, right?
All right, I'm taking it on. Thanks, Ryan. Um, if you could go back one slide yet, Dan, I just want to make this a little bit shinier and more of something that makes you want to check out these reports. The sales report dashboard, like he said, check it out, go in there. What this can do is show you your month over month of customer volume, pricing, and you can actually be proactive with your business and your customers to see if, oh, that's not right. I lost some volume because you're busy running the operation, you're busy dispatching, talking to the drivers. This will help you stay proactive so you can reach out to the customer and be like, hey, I noticed we did less with you last month. Is your volume down, or is there something we need to do to get this freight back? It gives you a heads up. The other one, AR aging dashboard, like Ryan said, this one will show you if an account ages. So if you take on a new customer and you want to ensure you're getting paid, because let's be honest, the right customer and fit and decision for your business, make sure you're paid because you don't work for free. This AR aging dashboard will allow you to look at all the customers. So when you have a new customer, you can follow it to make sure they are the right choice for your business and they are paying. And I just wanted to throw those enhancements out there because that makes it clickable in my opinion. All right, next, Dan. Okay, best practices to adopt for improved profitability, because who doesn't want to ensure that you're making the most money you can? And these you'll hear from across the team at your agent relations rep, just like Ryan mentioned, uh, annual business reviews. And these are part of the reports that we will pull to, you know, analyze and review your business to see, is there something you could adopt to improve your profitability? Because we want you to be the most profitable as possible. So we want you to adopt maybe reviewing reports weekly or bi-weekly. A great tip is, Ryan always tells me, put it on the calendar, make it repetitive, make it happen every 2 weeks until you're able to make it a good habit. So the reports that I suggest and I look at to make sure your profitability is improved is the driver paid not billed. What does this do? It catches you with billing. When you pull this, you realize, oh, I paid the driver. Ooh, I never billed the customer. What does that mean? That means if you don't bill the customer, you're not getting agent commission, and nothing on this report should age over 30 days, or you could end up with a future deduction if you're not tracking this. Agent Commission Search and History Report. Oh, I love this one. And it's a newer report. And this actually breaks down every single piece of data that you are inputting into the billing system per load. And then it'll export into an Excel. You can manipulate it. And then what happens is you can, filter it by driver. So if a driver comes to you, you can see exactly what loads you run this driver on, exactly how much they were paid that week, that month. It breaks down every single uh, freight line, fuel, accessorials, so you can get a big picture. So if you're currently spending and spinning your wheels and spending a lot of time manually updating these details, this report will save you some good time so you can focus on growing your business. Um, Agent adjustment details report, just in case you don't know that one's out there. This is a great report to pull on a Monday before the Tuesday billing, because then you'll see what's about to hit your agent commission and be deducted. Honestly, I like looking at these because it'll give me a picture of where things need to be cleaned up. Like if there's a lot of chassis deductions, are you logging into the equipment console to make sure you're acknowledging if they're driver deduct, if they're bill customer, or if they're agent deduct? Because if you're not doing that, it'll result in a debt that's most likely unwanted. Um, the unrated bill summary, this is one that catches you and keeps you straight within your operation by making sure there's nothing out there that you forgot to scan a document in for. So you don't have something waiting out there to be billed, because let's be honest, the longer it takes for you to bill a customer, the increased chance of them not paying, right? So it's another way to catch all, to make sure that you're where you need to be. And just in case you didn't know, the weekly revenue dashboard, there's an email that comes out with a link, but you can also click here on the bottom to view your weekly revenue. I just wanted to point that out, just in case it's brand new information, from friends. I'll go next, Dan. And again, we just wanted to end the show with another picture of the team that's here to support you. Um, we truly want to understand your business. We want to get to know you personally and professionally. Uh, we want to work together to help you achieve all the goals you're looking for and be a mentor. And in return, you're also a mentor for us. So we truly enjoy working together as a team and with you. And that's all I have for now.
Well, thank you both
Thank you.
to Stacy and Ryan. Does anybody have any questions for Stacy or Ryan? If you would like to ask a question, you can click the raise hand icon at the top and I can give you access to unmute yourself. Or you guys can continue to use the chat. I have seen some stuff come in there in the chat. Some asked for this presentation. I will be more than happy to send that to you at the conclusion of this. But thanks again, Stacy, Ryan, for taking the time out of your day to present for us.
Absolutely. Thank you for the opportunity.
One comment, Dan. Well, actually, two comments. One, if there are questions in the chat, could you please read? I just can't access. And two, I did look down quick enough to see the sales department at evansdelivery.com. That's an email that we have been sunsetting. We're trying to use the Team North, Team South. And at the same point, please email Stacy or I if specifically you have any questions. We sit at corporate and we'd be happy to help. But that sales department email is being sunsetted. So Dan, I'll turn it over to you to read chat questions or to unmute anyone.
Awesome. Thank you, Ryan. Just a couple more people asking for a copy of the presentation. No problem at all. I will be more than happy to send that over. Let me see if something came through the Q&A here. Yep, no problem. I can send you a copy of the presentation. But does anybody have any questions regarding anything they saw or Ryan or Stacy mentioned today before we cut them loose? I know Ryan said he's traveling, so definitely want to give him back his time, and we appreciate both Ryan and Stacy being able to present for us. If there are no questions, we will go ahead and end the show for today. Thanks everybody for joining. Next week, on top of this sales presentation, we have special guest John Chea joining us to talk about the 6 steps of the sale process. So please register for that webinar if you haven't already. Definitely looking forward to that. David Funk says, my office, we need some help navigating equipment console. David, what you can do is, I know this is around the sales and agent relations team, but from a training standpoint, if you send your team or your equipment console rep to the website evansuniversity.com, in the top right-hand corner, there's a button there that says schedule training, and you can sign up for equipment console training. Myself, Gabe, or Lisa Snyder will go ahead and train your person through the equipment console. Alrighty, folks. Thank you so much. Oh, go ahead, Ryan.
I was going to say I'm stuck in traffic, so I actually am sitting here bumper to bumper. So if people have questions, let's not be scared. Let's get it out there. So what do we got? Come on.
Well, David,
Come on, field.
David did just say go Irish, so I do appreciate that. Thank you, David. Go Irish.
Doyle, you paid fuck. David, you got $10 to say that. Come on. Come on.
Amy,
Dan Doyle is a big Irish fan, so that's the joke. But anyone, any questions, please? Anything at all? Open game.
Ryan wants some action. Woohoo!
Mary Beth asked Ryan if you're going on vacation again.
If Mary Beth would stop asking me strategic questions that take a lot of my time, I'll take a vacation. But until then, I can't. Sorry, MB. Thank you for the question, Mary Beth. Go Phillies.
So, a question here from SQP. So do the agency have their own sales team, or Stacy, Ryan, or however you interpret that? If you want to chime in.
So the every agency is supported with agent relations and sales. You're appointed a rep that connects with you, and you can always, get with us with a customer that you've been trying to get in with. You can ask us to potentially, like Ryan said earlier, go on your behalf, like to an industry event if you know that customer will be there. And we also cultivate our relationships to provide a warm introduction to help you start that relationship to build your book of business. So at the end of the day, every agent could potentially work with anyone on this team based upon where the customer lies, the customer that says, yes, I'm going to work with them lies. Does that make sense? Does that help answer the question?
Thank you for that.
I would tack on to it too that the sales and agents relations team has a difficult job to try to spread around the lead generation that we have to the best of our ability, with also honoring the pre-existing relationship. I'll shoot everyone straight on the call. I honestly, I don't know who's on the call, except FB, since she made fun of me. But from a size of operation standpoint, if you have less than 15 trucks, it will be difficult to sell to large customers. I've had agents say to me, I have 8 trucks and I want the Walmart account. I can't do it. I don't care who I know, what I do, how I sell, it won't happen. What we try to do is understand that certain operations already have certain relationships, and we'll source those first. And then we try to look at the nature of the operation and the size of the opportunity, and try to source accordingly. So this is all about transparency. It's not overpromise and underperform. We will sell as best as we can as a unit, but there are times where certain asks from the customer require certain agents to be on the back end, and we do the best that we can to source the business within the network. So I'd answer it that way. Do you have an individual sales rep? Yes, you do. But we try our best to service all the people out in the field. And so there are agents that have their own salespeople, and we've done joint calls with them before if there's no conflict, and we've done that as well. So to just come at it holistically, that's how I'd answer.
So a follow-up for that, Ryan, SQP said, do the sales team also seal contracts for the agents, or how does that work?
So contracts that come from a commercial entity will go through the contracts department. Don't hold it against me. I was a lawyer in my former life. There's some background and feedback. I don't know, Dan, if there's someone off mute. I just heard it myself. Uh, but there's a contracts department that will go through and redline contracts for the benefit of the agent and the network's protection. So if the sales team does go out and procures a new piece of business for you, the agent, there still will be that legal ramification of going through the contract and making sure it's good business for you, the agent, and for the network on its whole. So I hope that answers the question.
Another one here, Ryan says, I would like to hear more about the agent budget Ryan was talking about.
Agent budget. On an annualized basis, we are tasked to assess the agents in the field and assign a year-over-year top-line revenue budget. If we don't have specific intel, and please don't misconstrue this next comment, the intel will come from regular interactions with the agent about their goals, wants, staffing decisions, sales decisions, etc. If we don't have that intel, what we do is take data and statistics from industry performance and assess an across the board number. This last year, given 2024's performance and what we see in 2025, I believe the number was 4.5% annualized top line growth for agent locations that we don't have specific information. So that is the budget that we assess. If the agent would miss budget, there is no consequence. But what we're trying to do is just understand what we expect from the people out in the field, and we do our best to assess.
Awesome. Thank you, Ryan. And the last one that I see in here for now is, how is freight increasing post-freight recessions? When are we projected to be back to normal?
Dan, can you say that one more time? How's freight? And then I lost you. How's freight what?
Sure. How is freight increasing post-freight recessions? When are we projected to be back to normal?
Well, I tell you what, if I could answer that question with specificity, I wouldn't be in the trenches. But that said, what goes up must come down and vice versa. During COVID, there was a lot of additional capacity that came into the market, both truck-wise, warehouse-wise, and there is just more resiliency in the trade supply chain, in my opinion. Because of that, more volume, heightened numbers can be accommodated. I think a lot of what we're seeing on the lull post-COVID is a change in consumer spending, a change in economics in the country, excess capacity, both truck and warehouse getting into the market, and that's all kind of bleeding out, normalizing. All signs point to 2025 being a better year than 2024 and 2023, but it's anyone's guess. There's geopolitical, there's a change in the administration in the United States that comes into play. There's the tariffs that everyone likes to talk about that no one really knows about. So there's more variables out there than steadfast, hard facts and rules. But I would tell you that if I had any advice for anyone on the phone, if you ever build a budget or expectations based upon what happened in COVID, shame on you. Don't you ever do that again. It was a blip in the radar. The system broke, pricing went nuts, and things have normalized. So look at your 2024 numbers, get out there, knock on doors, work hard every day, and you can anticipate 5 to 7% top line growth in 2025.
Thank you for that answer. Go ahead, Stacey.
I think I can handle the next question, a question on the day-to-day communication with corporate. Where on the agent portal is the corporate contact list? I'll tell you what, I actually know this one, and I'm very excited to share, my friend. If you log into the agent portal, select resources, and then when you scroll down, you'll see corporate phone directory, and that's where the updated phone directory is kept at your fingertips. Also, the updated agent matrix, sorry, is included on the agent portal under resources as well.
Awesome. Thank you for that, Stacy. And that's everything, Stacy and Ryan. So thank you both for answering all of those questions. And thank you, everybody, for sticking around and listening to the answers to those questions. A lot of good information. Appreciate everybody joining. Again, shout out to Stacy and Ryan for doing this for us. We appreciate it. And we hope to see you next week on our 6 Steps of the Sale webinar. Have a great day, everyone.
Take care. Thank you.
Thank you all.